It's your boy Matty G reminding you right now, go ahead and take that popcorn on at the microwave, put that extra butter on it, throw some M&Ms in there to treat yourself, and get ready because Scott Larson is bringing the hashtag truth right now.
Watch it all fall down around you now. Was it ever really worth it? Having your kingdom crumble to the ground because you never had the courage. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up.
This is 4 Foot Batman. And 4 Foot Batman knows the home of great collectibles at awesome prices, retro toys and collectibles, movie memorabilia, Magic the Gathering cards, wrestling figures, Hot Wheels, the always popular Funko Pops, and much, much more. He knows the Hall of Collectibles is located in downtown Cherryville, North Carolina, at 400 East Main Street. Give them a call today, 980-989-5181. Retro Toys and Collectibles, the heavyweight champion in collecting.
Oh, yeah. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hashtag Truth. Tonight we have the one, the only Jake Jacobs. What's going on, man?
Scott, what's going on, man? Good to see you, man. It's been a long time.
It has been a little while. I think the last time me and you spoke, my chair broke out from underneath me.
Yes.
That was probably one of my most watched episodes ever on Hashtag Truth, brother. That was pretty funny.
That was a long time. Yeah, it's been a long man. I gotta stop having these gaps in between catching up with people and everything. Just life happens. So yeah, we gotta keep the show going. So yeah.
I got you. So for all those who've never seen Jake Jacobs before, I'm going to start you off like I have never met you before, even though I've known you for quite a while. Tell everybody, how'd you get into professional wrestling? Who trained you? And just how did you get into this crazy business, man?
Man, I got into it. Honestly, I did not watch wrestling at all growing up. I really did not watch it. I had I don't even know where to start. I had a group of friends over this one night. I was always that stereotypical, growing up an athlete. I played football and basketball, and I was that stereotypical kid who had all, if you weren't an athlete in my friend group, I didn't hang out with you kind of a thing.
Right.
Bunch of friends coming over, and one of my best friends growing up is actually a lot of people think, one person a lot of people know in this business, the bearded specimen, the Kodiak, whatever we call him, PJ Ellis.
There you go.
And he's the one that got me hooked on wrestling. He turned on a Monday Night Raw one night and asked me if I've ever watched it. I had no idea what it was. And man, I watched a 6-man tag that night, and I just know
one accidental kick later, your best friend was your enemy, and it all started, right?
Yeah, the story of me and PJ. But man, I don't even remember. That's the thing, is we watched that whole show. I couldn't tell you what happened. The only thing I remember is I remember John Morrison, The Miz, and John Cena and Kofi Kingston, and that was like it. And that was like my first ordeal. And then next thing I know, we had the DVRs at home, so I was recording it, and yeah. I mean, I was hooked after that, and yeah. So fast forward, I get into it. I actually went to a show with 3 Count Pro Wrestling when they had one over in Pickens, and it was my first independent show I've ever seen in my life. And the opening match that night was Gunner versus Cedric Alexander.
Oh my goodness!
That was my
talk about 2 names.
Yeah. They were the opening match that night, and I believe Ricky Steamboat was there, and it was just cool to to talk and see these larger than life people, and got hooked up with them and started training with the 3 Count Pro facility. So I actually literally that day I got in the ring when the A game Austin Jordan was still training, and
Oh,
got to get in the ring, take my first bump, man, and I didn't. It hurt.
you
but-
got the bug. You got the bug after that, didn't you?
Oh yeah, it was an emotional trip, man. I just remember stepping in the ring and then going that ride home from Pickens, and it's only about a 15-minute drive, but it was emotional that I just got that opportunity. But debuted with 3 count and wrestled for a little bit, and then I stepped up my game and went out to Knoxville, Tennessee, and trained with the legend himself, Dr. Tom Pritchard,
Oh,
with his school in Glenn Jacobs Kane, the Jacobs Pritchard's Wrestling Academy, and
now I remember that because while you were there, if you remember, while you were there, I actually interviewed you on #Truth. Do you remember that? While
Did
you were there, and I went back and I watched all our interviews, and I'd forgotten that you were there in Knoxville or wherever the training was, and I had you had glasses back then. You were wearing glasses back then. The whole night, the interview, you had your glasses on, the hat. I mean, it was, and you were telling me all about the training. It was awesome, dude.
probably had.
I know it's been a while ago, and but yeah, we've got a lot of people. You know, this person's going to be on here. Destiny said, "Hey, Jake."
What up, Destiny? I miss you guys.
Sean Duffy said to get there early, you're on time, and showing up on time is late. But I'm just in time to say hello and good evening from Fallon, Nevada. We're still the Ringsiders. The last time you was here, Jake.
Yep, I do remember you guys. Yep.
He said back when your tattoo was still fresh.
Yeah.
Which one?
I'm working on leg now. The leg. Maybe I got to get into the chest and back. My parents, I don't know how they feel about that, but yeah.
Sean said, and of course, Destiny is here. She'd never miss a chance to see her favorite of faves, of course. And then, of course, she says, you know it. But I'll tell you what, here's another thing I want to talk about with you, man. And I know you're proud of this, and I'm proud of it, and everyone around you, your family. When you first started out in professional wrestling, you were, I won't say big, but you were bigger than you are now. You know, you lost quite a lot of weight, and tell us the story behind that.
Man, dude, that topic in general, man, it's hard. Honestly, I'm a realistic person, and I'm nowhere near in the physique still, even to this point, that I want to be in. And
Right.
It just takes a lot of work and commitment. And most of all, it takes the just eating right, dieting, and I'm a big advocate for this. And I might sound a little bit hypocritical because I'm not in the shape I want to be. But I'm a firm believer, man, that this is an industry where you can play wrestler all you want, but you got to look the part. And that not only goes into gear, the way you carry yourself, and to everything, but man, you gotta look like it. You gotta stand out. If you're going to a Dollar General, Walmart, going out to eat, you can't look like the average person. I mean,
Right.
I love tattoos, but the tattoos help me. But I mean, at the end of the day, I see what I see on TV with the Austin Theories. Obviously you have the Bobby Lashley's or the Freaks, but I mean,
Right.
realistically, your top level guys, they are very they care tremendously about what they're
All the smaller guys, even like Ricochet and all them, they're still, they're physically just
they're in
superior.
incredible shape. Yeah,
Right.
they take care of themselves, and that's really where the genesis behind it started, man. I started looking at myself, and I was just I knew I was out of shape from the football days and everything. And once you I'm a big film person. I like to watch what I do. I can't stand watching myself talk or anything, but I like to watch my in-ring stuff. I like to see what I can be better at, what I can do. And every time I was watching, I was just absolutely being sick to this, not fulfilling what I've always said. Like, if you don't look the part, man, just that's where it starts first. So
let's talk about looking the part, because man, I'm telling you, the first thing that caught my eye when I first saw you, and the first time I saw you ever, was at EWF. I mean, we can tell the story. That's when we met, and you were in a group of wrestlers that came over from 3 Count. You know, the Austin Jordans, you and others that came over to EWF and was wrestling there. And the moment I saw you, I told you, I don't know if you remember this, but I was like, man, you got the it factor. You got something. And I realized after that night, I don't think I've ever told you this, but you got a clue on this because I ask about it all the time. You come out to the ring. You don't come out like every other wrestler just coming out to the ring. You always have these long coats that you're proud of, man. There's the black leather one. There's the orange one that I've seen before. You've got a red and black one. I mean, you've got all different kinds. Instead of coming out in robes, you've kind of made coats your thing, or trench coats, if you will. I don't know what you call them, but I'll give you a chance to talk about it here in a second. But you come out, you know, with that look, and it was different than a lot of the other wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? There's no other wrestlers that are coming out with that look. And I was like, man, just that alone right there is going to get eyeballs on you. What made you think of those coats? What brought those coats on?
Well, you kind of said it. Nobody really does it. I mean, you have a couple of guys now. You'll see like in the WWE, I believe Gallows has one he wears every once in a while and stuff. But the biggest thing is my absolute goal is, I don't want to do something and then someone immediately say, oh, he got that from this person, or oh, he got that from this person. So let's be honest, at the end of the day, everything has been done in this business, whether it's, moves, gear, anything. It's really hard to come up with something new. So what I always try to do, man, is I try to take things from, you know, and I just, whether it's all right, I like the look of the robe. And I like when you just have that extra flair, because everybody can come out with a T-shirt, cut the sleeves off, make it a crop top, do the big, they can do stuff like that. And that's what people are doing to make things different. But I didn't want to wear a robe. It did not match the presentation I'm giving off. It doesn't match my personality, obviously.
Right.
I didn't want to come out with like a biker vest, because you just see that so many times. I mean, you want to find things that are different. So to be completely honest, I just started going on Google and I just started typing in just looking up different things. And actually where I landed on that is I think I typed in heavy metal goth and was looking at different stuff, and I seen these huge trench coats, but they always had all these bedazzles and stuff. So I have a person that can custom make stuff over in my hometown of Beasley, and walked in and sort of told them exactly what my vision was and what I had in mind, showed them pictures of myself in gear, and sort of gave direction of what I would want. And yeah, it's kind of having to trust instinct on that one. But I mean, I even then I try to even change it, since that trench coat, it had sleeves on it and everything. And once I got the tattoos, I was like, man, I spent so much money, I don't want to cover these up. So I cut the sleeves off, and I always just try to make myself different, presentable. And I honestly wish I could get more of them, because I'm that person where I want it to be different. So am I alone here? Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'm here. I think our internet glitched, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. I am so sorry. That's what happens when you go live, ladies and gentlemen. The internet glitched at my house. We've been having storms all day. The internet just glitched. I'm going to see if I can't get Jake back. There we go. All right, there we go. I'm sorry, our internet glitched, man. It's always something when you come. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but we're live. Welcome to live broadcasting. But go ahead and tell us about your coats again, man. I'm sorry. I'm so
No,
sorry.
you're all good. And honestly, I pretty much had it wrapped up at the end of that. But yeah, just
Okay.
the key to the whole thing, man, is I just try to make myself different. I take stuff from every single person. So when I say that is you listen to someone like Hulk Hogan. I believe it's on the Stone Cold podcast. I love listening to wrestling podcasts.
Oh man, me too.
You hear the success of Hulk Hogan, and what he did is he took basically pieces from all these independent wrestlers that he's seen and combined them into one and made it his own. And that's all I realistically just try to do. So I try to take things that I see that not a lot of people are doing, or even something that a lot of people are doing, and put my own twist on it and try to make it my own, make it original. Like I said, everything's been done in this business, and so you have to find ways to stand out. So yeah.
Right, without a doubt, man. And again, I want to apologize to all the fans and stuff. Thank you for sticking with us. I come back and there was more people actually watching than when we were doing okay. So I don't know what happened. But thanks a lot, everybody. And Jake, thank you for your patience, brother. I really appreciate it. But another thing I want to talk to you about, and this I noticed when you know, every time we come to a show with you, and we've discussed this at length on my show, but like I said, for all the ones that don't know you, you're big on your merch table, man. You come out during intermission. You always greet the fans. You're always signing autographs. I mean, my daughter has almost every piece of merch you ever put out, sir, and you know that. But it's just a big thing for you. Tell us about, you know, what the fans mean to you.
Well, there's two different parts to that. So merchandise table wise, that's my that has to do not everything on that merch table. I give credit to my dad. I help with the design factor on things, because if I let him do it, I don't know how much people would like.
It would be old fashioned, wouldn't it? Let's just be honest.
Much.
It would be old fashioned.
I
I love your dad too, but it would be old fashioned.
But man, he's the one that he runs all of the merchandise. A lot of this is something I don't think I've ever shared, and I don't mind sharing it, man. Yeah, I don't pocket anything off of the when it comes to our merchandise. Like I've never seen any of that, and he doesn't take it. All we do, man, is we get enough. We basically, with the money that we sell, everything from our merchandise table goes right back into merchandise, and that just allows me an opportunity to interact and people to have a piece of man, because that's satisfaction enough for me. If so, I feel like me being a small hometown kid, man, and for someone to, you know, wear something that has my name on it, the name that I've worked so hard to brand, and it's just cool, man, to see someone to, like, in public or whatever. If I can go and spot that and, you know, go up and say what's up to somebody, or just in general, man, that means way more than me than any kind of money can give me. I mean, so
I love that. That's so cool. And you know, I have a couple of shirts. My daughter has like almost every shirt I think you've ever made. And every time we wear your shirts, even when you're not at a show, dude. We go out and we you know. We always try to do that. You've always been good to us. There's a tradition we have at our house, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you know that. It's coming up quick. I'm going to remind you that every year, my daughter's birthday, this man over here, he either comes to the house or he autographs in this huge picture and he gives it to her every year. And she's got all of those pictures on her wall right now. I mean, she idolizes this guy on the other side of the screen here. And she always has, man. I don't care if this man could be fighting the greatest wrestler of all time, Ric Flair, and my daughter is going to be Rick who? Because she's fighting Jay. He's fighting Jake. It's just pretty awesome that, you know, you do things like that, and that we've got videos. We got the video the first time you ever came to the house for her, and you scared her to death. Didn't scare her, but she was freaked out. She slammed the door in your face, ran into the kitchen, and then it wasn't maybe 30 minutes later, we were live on #Truth with you sitting behind me on my wife's bed, because at the time my video stuff was in her room. And our room, well, our room, and
Right.
it was just crazy, dude.
Yeah, man, you guys have just supported me from the very beginning, and you guys just show me so much love, and it's the least I can do. I mean, yeah, it's just cool. I mean, this sounds, without sounding selfish on my behalf, I know it makes her day, and that's really cool. But to see someone light up and that I can make an impact on someone's life, I mean, honestly, selfishly, it makes my day, and it really does, just to know that I'm able to leave that kind of an impact. And I really try to pride myself on being a role model, and I don't always make the best decisions, but at least I enjoy taking that role and trying to help be guidance, and I try to just help people. Like, everybody goes through hard times, and if I can help
Right.
somebody, and even if it's, however long the hour to 2 hours I spend with Destiny, who knows what she has at school, some teacher or kid smarted off to her and she's been mad about it all week. If I can make her forget that for an hour or two, enjoy life, that's all I want to
Right.
do.
And
So
that's what wrestling's all about. Some people forget that when they become wrestlers is, the fans are there to forget and to watch you play a character and to be a character and just have fun. I mean, I could care less whether you win or lose, man. I'm going to come and I'm going to cheer you on. My family's going to do that. We always have, but it's so much fun when, you can, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's fun when you know a wrestler.
yeah,
And a wrestler gives you that much respect, and your family that much respect, to, like you said, spend time. Cause I know you're busy all the time and life happens and it gets crazy, but there are people out there who think about you all the time. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes wrestlers forget that.
yeah, and that's something I need to be more active on social media. Usually when I'm not doing anything wrestling wise, I usually just pretty much for the most part stay dark off of it. A lot of times, because there's so much toxicity and stuff, and I just don't. I try, and I have people all the time that tells me they just want to see what's going on in my life, and I got to do better on that perspective. But one thing, man, is I don't know if a lot of people really get this, is especially at the current, I'm an independent wrestler, so this is not, I'm not under a contract, the wrestling that we do. I know there's some guys that can weed $1 out and they can make money and live a life by doing this. And I'm just, I have responsibilities, man. So I'm able to relate to everybody that comes to these shows because I work a normal Monday through Friday like everybody else. I go to work and I put shoes on the same as everybody. So when it comes to answering like the first question you had about the merch table and then asking about, why I spend so much time at, like, if you come to a show and you see me at intermission or before the show and after the show, I always try to, or not even try, I do it. And sometimes I make, I've been known to make promoters mad in some instances because I spend too much time in intermission. But if I've been blessed enough to have, lines that are 30 minutes long at my merchandise table, and to come because there's a young man, a young lady right there who wants to come get an autograph, take a picture with me. And I'm not really one of those people just to sign something, take a picture, and then send them on their way. I'm really curious and open to hearing their story. And, it doesn't have to be, 10, 15-minute conversations, but I at least want to know the name I'm taking a picture with. The person who's willing to spend money to come get an 8x10 picture, who's willing to come something. I want to know them and I want to have that connection. Not only because it means a lot to me, but also, I mean, technically we are running a business. I mean, if I want anybody to come back, what kind of impact am I going to leave on anybody if I'm not communicating with them? Because I know if I'm going to go buy something and someone just blows me off, why would I want to come back? I always try to sit there and communicate with people, and and it's that I'm a 9 to 5 worker, just like everybody else.
I've actually got 3 or 4 pictures of you at different shows now. This is not the same show, but different shows. And when some kids ask me sometimes, "Hey man, what do you look for when you look at?" I mean, you've interviewed hundreds of wrestlers. What do you look for in a good wrestler? And I show them those pictures, and what those pictures are is of you on one knee, face to face with a 6, 7, 8-year-old kid, signing an autograph, and like you said, having a conversation with that kid. He's not going to forget that tomorrow. He's going to remember that 10 years down the road. I mean, I would if this, bigger than life wrestler who came out with this big jacket and did all, and he kneels down to get face to face with me. I'm always going to remember that, you know?
Listen, I was that 8-year-old kid, man. I mean, I was.
Right.
Like, just getting into it, like, even when I first, like, I want to say I was 14 when I first seen that show, and I remember going to those events, man, like those WWE live events and everything, and just seeing them, and yeah, I mean, it's just, they're just cool. Like, when I'd go sit next to the gate and watch the wrestlers, like, they would pull in. I remember Great Khali always used to just slam on the horn, and like he would get out and, like, you know, just he was just like waving at us. But I just remember that brief interaction I had there. It was so cool. I was telling everybody about it for a week, so I couldn't imagine it was up close to me. And that's why I just try to make that personal connection. That's my goal. Leave an impact, but leave a positive impact's my goal, and that really is it.
Right. And I mean, you've made some great friends along the way. I mean, you talk about PJ. You had a stint there where you and Austin Jordan were making music together, as you know, you were trying to be his tag team partner. Those, I still watch those promos to this day. They are the most funny thing I've ever seen in my life.
It never happened. It never happened.
I know.
So much. This dude. And he said he was just busy all the time. And then what does Austin Jordan do? He goes and meets a young lady and gets married. Now, congratulations, he has a child.
No, of course.
But
I mean, he had the thing with the arm and everything too, man. I mean, that had to be life changing. But he made his way through it. He came back and he's wrestling. But man, I'm telling you, that was solid gold back then, man. Especially the one where you were peeking in the shower, you were peeking in the window. I mean, it was hilarious. It was gold. And to find out that after all that, you guys never did tag together, did you?
I've never wrestled a match with him, Scott. This is insane. We've basically broken very similar times. He was there. I watched him review. He was a referee for 3 Count. I watched him that night. I was actually security guard ringside. And I watched him, and I've trained with him, you know, inside of a training ring and done. But when it comes to singles matches or really any match in general, I've never been in the ring with him. I think the only thing I've been in is on the 3 Count Pro 20. I have shared the ring with him in that little moment, and that's it. So, man.
Morgan Clarkson said, "That's my cousin."
Momo, Morgan, congratulations. She's about to start Charleston Southern University on the 18th of August. So,
congratulations. Awesome. Bill Wright, we're going to be interviewing this gentleman on down the road later on this month. He said, "Gentlemen."
Bill?
Destiny said, "I can remember when you were a heel and I was the only one in the building cheering for you."
Yeah, I get reminded every once in a while. Some of my best friends will send me pictures when I had my friend Tyler calls them the frosted tips. When I had the
the white tips. I remember.
Oh man, yeah, it was. Whew, yeah.
Ron Emerson Jr., the Wrestling Wire, guys, go check him out on his page, man. He's got a great podcast over there, him and his partner. He said, "The Superior One." What's up?
Ron, what's up, man? Good to see you, man.
I'll never forget when you were at AOL. I think that was the last match we saw you live at. You were at AOL. You were wrestling gosh darn it, my mind just went blank. You know who you were wrestling at AOL? The longest match. It took like 35 minutes to start that match.
Yep. Because
somebody had parked illegally out in the front, and all the cops were out there moving the cars, and nobody wanted to start the match.
Brino's
what's that? Yeah, you were wrestling Brino, man. Brino got the best of you in that match, but it was some kind of match, man. That was a good match.
Yeah, that was fun, man. That was interesting. We were getting ready. We were circling. Bell was getting ready to start. All of a sudden, I get a little thing. I get a little buzz in my ear from I don't even remember who even told me, but they just said we can't start this match. There is police are here. Stall. Just stall. And I was like,
just stall.
What do you want me to do? You want me to stall? The next thing you know, they just hand me a microphone. I'm like, All right. Well, guys, you're gonna talk to me for a little bit until we figure out what's going on. So,
Promo on cue. Here you go, buddy. Here's the stick. Go out there and get him, buddy.
and up to this point, up to this match, I was the one.
Ron said he was the one that told you. He said he told you, and he handed you the mic,
There
probably.
you go. Okay. See that? It caught me off guard. So, yeah, I was just told to stall, and man, Brino's the one that was doing all the talking before. So I'm like, oh, you want me to talk? This is the one that's been talking. I've been the serious one, just ready to go. All right.
Right?
Tried to
Oh,
he
man.
shoot it off to Brino, and he didn't want no part of it. So I entertained him for, I guess, it was probably a good 10, 15 minutes. And there we
Ron
go.
said, yeah, I know I handed you the mic. It was my idea.
Oh, so you're the one to blame. Next time, go to Brino. No, I'm just messing with you.
Yeah. It's all good, man. It's always
The promo and talking to people it's never been a fear for me. I just it comes off naturally. I just communicate, talk. People that get freezed
Right.
up are the people that have stuff written down on their arm and stuff. Yeah, just
Right,
fun,
right.
man.
I mean, it's not too hard. You were wrestling Brino Royce. I mean, yeah, anybody can find things to say about Brino Royce, whether they're true or not. You know, there's people are still going to listen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Brino makes a big target on his back. He's a great heel. So Ron said we had to stall for them to move their cars. Yeah, somebody, I guess they were parked in a end around, and they weren't supposed to be parked there or something like that. But they got it all figured out. There's plenty of parking out there at AWL. Don't think I'm saying anything bad about AWL, because AWL is phenomenal. If you've ever been there, it's awesome. If you haven't been there, you don't know what you're missing. I'm just going to say that.
I can say out of all the places I've been to, it is definitely up there with the most expensive setup I've ever seen.
Right?
Everybody out there in Jimmy, and man, they have put it is crazy. If I could
Right.
have something like that accessible to me,
Right?
it is incredible. It is really cool. It'll shock you when you first show up, because it did.
It did me, because I mean, you go to his house, you literally walk around his house, you go back there and you see the wall, but all you see is this wall. And it's like, okay, that's cool. And then you turn around, you go through the little entranceway there, and once you hit that entranceway, it just opens up into this, grand wrestling venue in the back, and it's like, wow. Your jaw just drops.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's total. So I know a lot of people ask these questions, but I'm going to ask them anyway, man. Who's your favorite guy out there in Independence to wrestle, man? Who was that guy that always gave you a great match? You guys always, knew what each other was doing, and it just went off without a hitch.
So kind of going off of what you said, just honestly, my favorite person to wrestle, but also someone I never know what he's going to do, but every time I've ever been in the ring with him, I've learned so much. And just being completely honest, if I could wrestle him, 10, 50 more times, I would, because I learned so much. And it just feels like everything goes so flawless, and he's just so good. John Schuyler it's not even close. That's just it. Yeah, John, the Southern Savior.
There we go. I think we're back. Sorry about that. Again, internet glitching. It's saying up there that our internet is like having problems. It's even saying it up on my screen. Connection is poor. So
No, it's all good, man.
I don't know how much longer we're gonna have, sir. So I'm gonna ask some quick questions. We've been on for about a half an hour, so hopefully we can make 45 before this thing goes totally gone.
Did you at least hear that answer?
No, I didn't hear the end of it, sir. Please say it again.
John Schuyler, by far favorite person.
John
to wrestle.
Schuyler.
I learned so much every single time, and if I could wrestle him 10, 20 more times, I feel like every time I step in the ring with him, I get better. I walk away knowing something new. Let me wrestle John Schuyler more and more.
Brandon Lamb said, I need to see Jake Jacobs versus Kay Holiday. I'd like to see that match.
I've never wrestled Kay. I've shared the locker room with Kay many times.
Right?
Never wrestled Kay. I don't believe so, at least. Yeah, that would be
That
good.
would be that would be a pretty good match. I think your
Right.
guys' styles would go good. Ron said that's a good answer. The storm should be passed by now. I don't know about here, man, because like I said, the internet's still popping in and out for me. So, how's it look over your way?
It's been thunderstorming since about 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
So-
that's the way it is here. Same here. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully we can get a few more questions in.
Yeah.
If you guys have any questions for Jake Jacobs, Destiny, I know you got a few. Go ahead and pop them off, and ask him anything. I mean, he's an open book, guys. But I am going to ask him something because, man, I told him this before the show. I almost cried when I was looking down his page. I looked down and there was a picture. There was like 5 pictures of his car, and I was like, "Oh, what is he doing? What is he doing?" And dude, you sold the car. Tell us about that, man.
I sold the Mustang. Yeah, a lot of people who know me and honestly, a lot of events and venues I've went to, it's been with me. I had a 2020 Ford Mustang, man, and it was absolutely murdered out. It was just black on black, like Batmobile, and I loved it. Loved the car, but yep, I sold it. I sold it to a young man, actually the same hometown I'm from, and I see it every once in a while as he drives by, and he has the same appreciation as I did. But man, I'm becoming an adult and doing normal people stuff as well on the side of doing wrestling. And one thing I need to do is I need to be able to go to Home Depot and buy lumber and put it in the back. I can't put it in the back of a Mustang. I can put it in the back of a truck. So I'm now still a Ford owner, but I have a new F1, or let me rephrase that, new to me. I have an F-150 out there now, and don't worry, I'm not going to drive just some regular car. I want something I can still do stuff too and everything. And I'm a car fanatic, car and truck fanatic, and I love working on them and I love doing that. So yeah, I'll have to post pictures once I do stuff to it. But yeah, I have a black F-150 out there.
Okay, I got you. I have to show you guys what he sold. Just a couple of pictures, because like I said, it made me cry. This is the inside of the car. Oh. And this is the outside. Oh, that's a beautiful looking car, man. I'm sorry.
Thank you. She had a name too. Her name was, if anybody that knows me too, my favorite movie of all time. It's Forrest Gump, and her name was Jenny, the most beautiful
there
name in the
you go,
world.
Jenny.
So
35,800 miles, man. That's not, man, that car was pristine.
I really did not drive it a lot. I mean, it technically was my daily driver, but I mean, I just don't. If we went on long trips, I took something else, so it wasn't practical
Right.
to take. So
Right. Oh man, but people knew when you did drive it. People knew when you were driving up. I'll tell you that.
yep.
That is so cool. So let's talk about where you're going to be before this goes off again. Let's talk about where you're going to be next. Where's Jake Jacobs wrestling in the future?
I will be at the next 3 Count Pro Wrestling event. Man, I should have done a better job, but I believe it is August the 26th. I believe that is.
Here we go. I got it right here for you.
Oh, got the date right. Yeah, August 26th. Same venue, Calvary First Baptist. I am your current next level champion, and I'm sure in some capacity, you'll definitely see me there with it, and I'm sure I will be defending.
You'll probably be defending it against somebody on the 26th.
Yeah, so I'll be defending it, and if you've never been to a 3 Count event, especially at Calvary, man, I recommend it. It is such a lively crowd every time. And
I was about to say that crowd is popping. And let me tell you, get there early because they sell out them seats quick out there at Calvary, man. I've been to a few shows, and let me tell you, 3 Count's got it going on. They've got a great roster out there. I mean, look at the poster, guys. I mean, you got a lot of good names right there. I see Zuka King. Of course, you got Austin Jordan, the 3 Count heavyweight champ. You got all kinds of guys. PJ's back there. Man, you got all kinds of guys on this roster that
let me help you out, too. You got the Stew Crew.
Go ahead.
The Stew Crew in that bottom right or next to over there. They're JPWA, same school. Hook them up to be able to come out here to the Carolinas. If you have not seen the Stew Crew, They are absolute giants, and they're a great tag team. Drew Adler just came off of winning the Pro 20. Man, that I was the final 3 in that. By intermission, I think Matty G would agree I was the clear-cut favorite to win based off of fans. I think I got pretty much, I think it was like 98% voting to win that. I thought I had it in the bag. I wanted my opportunity. I've never faced Austin Jordan, and that is my one
You went
goal.
to the top. I was watching how you got put out. You went to the top. What was you thinking?
What I was thinking is Drew Adler. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3", over 200 pounds, and Drew Adler is taller and bigger than me, and I needed to get him off his feet. So, Drew is, to be completely honest, I wanted to be try to be unpredictable with someone against like Drew. Man, he is such a talent. I think Drew Adler might be one of the most I don't feel like he's talked about enough, man. I am a firm believer that Drew Adler can go at any level and compete with any person. And unfortunately, I seen it that night. Yeah, I fought myself back up, went to the top rope. Next thing I know, I look up and I'm eating a boot to the face and I'm falling hard to the floor. So, but yeah, man, I'm still the current next level champion, and man, we're gonna at least do my part. But I have to get and wrestle for the heavyweight championship at some point. Or
now you was telling me before we came on the show. See, I remember when the next level champion, it was like the Money in the Bank. You could turn it in and go against. But now they did a WWE thing on us. 3 Count did, and it's its own championship now. Now you can't just turn it in. It's a viable championship you defend every time.
Correct. Yeah, the winner of the Pro 20 gets a briefcase, and that briefcase is an opportunity to wrestle. So, correct. The next
I see what they did there.
Its own championship, and the 3 Count heavyweight championship is its own championship. So, yeah, Drew Adler is he has his championship match of the future now. So, yeah, that's a great place for him.
I just wish you wouldn't have made the mistake of going to the top rope, bro. That's all I'm saying. I looked at that and I was like, no. Even I didn't even know it. I was just scrolling down today and I looked and I saw you say, well, I'm sorry, I let the fans down. And then all of a sudden I watched and I was like, wait a minute, why is he going? He's not a top rope guy. Why is he going to the top? No. There he went. I was like, oh man, come on.
Man, I was going out of my comfort zone for a while. Never that suicide dive person. I've been doing suicide dives, everything, just trying to, I'm always much more that person. I like to stay as close to the canvas as I possibly can. But yeah, we try to throw things every once in a while. But yeah.
Destiny said, we wish we could go to 3 Count to see you again. We miss you. And Alex says something I like this. Alex said, I would love to see Jake Jacobs face off against Lucky Ali one more time or Chris Vallo. Uh-oh.
Man, Chris Vallo, I'm trying to think. So first off, Lucky Ali is, again, one of those people, just straight up. Him and Drew are 2 completely different styles in the ring. Lucky is also one of those people where I believe you can put him at any level and he is in the sink or swim, and he's going to swim. I mean, it is what it is. Lucky is super talented, and I can honestly say, like, there's a handful of people they'll tell you differently, but I don't think I've ever seen them have a bad match. Like, they're just so gifted. Everything comes off so effortless. So yeah, I would love to wrestle Lucky. And then Chris Vallo, I'm trying to think. I know there was a point in time early in my career, actually. It's funny when Chris had the, whatever we call it, the pineapple hair that he had, and before he got that shaved off, and I had the
back when we called him Gargamel.
Yeah. We shared the ring as a tag team, and man, that was some of the most fun I've ever had.
Okay.
Actually, wrestling against him, I don't know if I've ever wrestled Vallo in a singles match. That would be a lot of fun. So, listen, if there's promoters out there, I know I got to do my part. I've kind of been off the face of the earth, but man, I miss being in the ring every weekend. At one point, like I once was. I gotta start focusing on stuff that I love a little bit more.
Hey man, it happens. Sometimes life just turns you in another direction. But I'm sure glad you took. Alex said, right? I started that. I don't know what'd you start? Wait a minute. Oh, calling him Gargamel. That's
Oh,
what
okay.
he's talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Calling Chris Vallo Gargamel. He started that. Okay, I got you. But yeah, I mean, life always takes turns. It's like me, man. I wish I could do hashtag 3 days a week, every week, but always, things come up, it happens. And I understand you've had a lot of changes. I mean, like we talked about earlier, you got healthy, which I'm proud of you, man. I wish I could do that. I'm working on it. I've lost 45 pounds. I'm working on it. But yeah,
takes work,
yeah.
man. It's
I'm
hard
not falling out of a chair anymore for you, Jake. The internet might go off, but I'm not falling out of a chair for you anymore. But yeah, it's been fun, man. And I know, wrestlers, independent professional wrestlers, they still have shoot jobs. They have girlfriends, they have wives, they have, bills to pay. It's all part of the process, man. And I'm just glad you decided to come on, because I was like, I reached out to you and I was like, man, he's probably too busy. And I was shocked when you said, hey, yeah, man, let's hook it up. I was like, all right, cool.
See, I'll give a quote. What is it? Charles Barkley. I watched him do a thing. I think it's on the Pat McAfee show. What did Charles Barkley say? You're one of those people. It's the same with that. Is you can call me anytime and I'll make some time out, because I am busy, and I give that to a lot of people that ask me to do stuff. But I'm really, honestly, when it comes down to it, I'm really not that busy, so I could make time work. But everybody would want me to do every little thing left and right. So you've been there from the start, and yeah, if I could ever, whether it's, I'm fortunate enough to be able to do 45 minutes, I can, an hour, whatever. I'm fortunate enough to do that. But even if it's just simply catching up, I'm willing to take 10 minutes away from my busy life and talk with you, man. You've been so good to me. You, Destiny, and Connor. And so, yeah.
The one thing that I loved about you, and I'll say this in front of everybody, I'm not scared to say anything like this, especially when, people do this in wrestling. You always hear, you got to get trained well. You got to get trained right. You got to get trained right. And I remember the day you found out you were going to train with Tom Pritchard. You were so happy, bro. You were glowing. About 15 minutes after Tom Pritchard got a hold of your butt, though, I bet you were regretting that decision. But but going to Tom Pritchard's school, man, tell me a little bit about that, because I know it wasn't easy.
Intimidating. Intimidating on the fact that Dr. Tom is not intimidating. Well, let me rephrase that. When you meet him, because you hear so much about him, you hear the stories about Dr. Tom, man, and it is his resume. It really does speak for itself. So walking in there, knowing what he's accomplished, and the hands that he has had, with all the success for all the people that has made it, that itself is intimidating. But once you get in there and talk to Dr. Tom, he's just another brother. He really is. He loves the business. He's an old school brother. He'll shoot you straight. Me and him see differently on certain things, and then we see eye to eye on things. The things we see differently, he's not an entrance person. I'm one of those. I like Titantrons. I like fireworks. I like that. I like Batista's thing. He wants to curtain and walk through, and I get it. I understand where he.
Yeah, he's as old school as you get, man. He's one of them guys.
But I love it, and he understands that there's other people who love it, or that love it just as much as I do. But Dr. Tom, he really is as good as they come. But when I first walk in, man, I want to say we had like 18 people, maybe more, maybe plus 20 plus in that opening class. And Dr. Tom's not a cardio person, but you are going to bump, and you're going to bump a lot during that time. And that was the thing, man. I know there was a few of us there, but I'm pretty sure I was the only one. Just give myself a little bit of a credit because, man, I worked a full-time job when I was in Knoxville, Tennessee. I needed some sort of income to be able to pay for the place I was living at. I still had a car payment. I took a job at an Academy Sports and Outdoors, and I was what did I do? I was shipping out packages, like ship to store was my job there.
Right.
I would go.
You told me that. I'm going to give me a little priceless bump of my own here. Go back and watch the interview. Go back and check out the last interview I did with Jake when he was at the school. You'll know it, because as soon as it comes up, you'll see Jake in glasses. He's got a hat on and a white like coat like shirt, and he tells you all about everything that was going on up there, just like
Bro.
he's telling us now. But it was a good interview.
20 people were in that class. 3 of us graduated. Everybody quit. Everybody, that was too much. And I knew there was a lot of people there that, you know, family came together and paid for stuff or what have you not, or it was a gift or what. Man, that school was expensive. It just being completely honest, it was.
We're talking thousands of dollars, folks. We're not talking about a drop in the bucket. It's a couple grand. It's you're talking grand money. I don't know the exact amount, but I know it's a lot.
And
But
I didn't go to university, but I treated it as such. And I know it wasn't as long as like but like, man, I'm trying to, you know, learn my craft for something I want to do in my profession. And, you know, regardless of the way I look at it, man, is, you know, obviously I want to make it to the next level like anybody else.
right.
But the what I learned there, and to know that I can honestly say just by going and learning from the best of the best and learning and seeing in Dr. Tom's eyes of what makes someone good in and outside of the ring, it just feels good on my perspective as I can look at it through his eyes, and I can legitimately watch any product and I can say this is good and this is bad and here's why. And I can, and it's really cool that I at least know, and the stories and the people that I was able to meet up there, the connections. And he no longer goes by Jake Tucker. He goes by Channing. He just won the NXT Tag Team Championship.
Yep.
And like seeing people like that, and there's just so much success coming out of that school. And
another thing about it though, and I saw pictures, so you can't deny it. You never know who's going to be teaching you. It might not be just Dr. Tom. It might be some other WWE or other superstars that walk into his school and decide, hey, I'm going to show you a few things. Tell us about the other stars that showed up.
There was so many. There were so many while I was there, and then there was people that came when I was technically in Knoxville, but he came, you know, after hours. I know Undertaker at one point came and did something during a it was something for, I believe, some sort of special, and he was able to come there. And of course, Kane was one of the people I met right off the bat. Meeting him was so cool. When Sheamus came, that was such a surreal experience for him, and also when Mark Henry came, because you got to get in the ring with these guys you've seen on TV. And
you told me you took a couple of bro kicks, man. Tell us about that.
I took 6 bro kicks, all right? And yeah, so man,
ouch.
I gotta say though, man, it was truly awesome. If you've seen me in the ring, you know my style. I'm one of those people. I like physical. I like being physical in the ring. Hit me in the meat. You know, just don't hit me in the moneymaker, man. You know, we're professionals here. Hit me in the meat, and I will take, you know, chest shots. I will take chops. I will take any. I'm one of those people. I like the contact, man. I really do. And Sheamus is one of those people who really likes to lay stuff in, and we're in the same profession, so I enjoyed being able to, you know, relay that back to him, and so that way when I know I'm not having to go in light when I'm doing anything to him, man, I'm laying him in there. And he really, after we went through as Dr. Tom, he has a man in the middle drill, and we were doing that, and he could see that I was being physical back with him, and I was trying to just he was so blown, but I was trying to forget that I have this guy that I've watched on TV that I've looked up to in the ring, and just focus that this guy's trying to get better. He's coming back, and he wants to be on his A game. So no Austin Jordan pun there, but I'm just like,
right.
I'm trying to help him. And then he just sort of seen that. And at the end of it, we were both just drenched in sweat, dabbed each other up. And it was just like 2 brothers working out, man. It really was. It was a really cool experience. And to be able to go toe-to-toe shows that the actual physical aspect in the ring is I can compete with anybody. It's just a matter of, it really is just looking the part, man. I think that is the number one thing. And that was one of the pieces of advice he just gave me. It was just really cool, man. Sheamus was a super cool dude. So was Mark Henry. Honestly, I didn't meet anybody that's that bad, but yeah. Yeah. That was cool.
I'm still trying to get over 6 times getting kicked in the face. That's ouch.
Well, he asked. So like, when I said that, is he was like asking who wants to get in the ring, because he was like two weeks away from having his return SmackDown debut, I guess, and he wanted to have some, you know, some matches, man. And Yeah, bro kicks aren't fun, and the Irish curse backbreaker is not fun. But man, there,
But the experience, man, the experience, because I'm pretty sure he was probably teaching everybody stuff too. I mean, it wasn't probably just a match. He'd probably tell you if you did something wrong in the ring, right?
oh yeah. Well, what he really did is he was the first one I got there where he showed that next level of physicality I've never seen, and that's really what it. From the
So in
style
other words, he didn't hold back. He treated you just like a WWE superstar when he bro kicked you and did all the stuff to you.
Oh, absolutely. And Dr. Tom would get mad at him if he didn't. That was not just for me; it was for everybody.
Right.
Dr.
Right.
Tom had a say so in his training coming up, so when Sheamus came in, he knew what to expect out of his students, out of Dr. Tom's students, and that's why he trusted us. We were able to get in the ring, and he trusted that we weren't gonna hurt him because he had to go back on the road. So he
Right.
trusted Dr. Tom. He trusted our ability to safely go in there and beat each other up. So, and it was an honor. It really was.
I mean that's something that never goes away, man. Even if you don't make it big, which I hope you do. I mean, there's so many people that hope you do. But even if you don't, man, just that experience of being with a Hall of Famer, 3 Hall of Famers, 4 Hall of Famers you just named. I mean, that's something that half of us wish we could just meet these people, and you actually got to spend some legit time with them. So that's pretty cool, man. I love to hear stories like that, and that's what this show is all about. And I really thank you for coming on and telling us all this stuff, man. I mean, it's in your busy schedule because I know you got a lot of life things going on and changes going on in your life. And I just want to tell you, man, I'm proud of the weight loss and everything else with your body, man. I am one of those guys that is jealous, man. I look at a cheeseburger and gain 15 pounds. So, you doing all your work and here we go. Here's another one that's saying it. Caitlin said, "Hey, Scott and Jake, because I would love to see Jake versus Chris Vallow. Boy, we need to get Chris Vallow up in here because apparently they want to see you two go at it."
We got to get something going then, don't we?
Yeah, I know there's some promoters that'll watch this later. Somebody's got to hook that match up, man. That would be pretty cool, man. Even 3 count. Get them down to 3 count. I'm pretty sure Chris can come down to 3 count.
Oh yeah, he made the trip.
So let me ask you, man, the same question. This is how we're going to go out today. I'm going to ask you the same question I ask every wrestler for the last probably 6 months, 8 months that's been on my show. What would the Jake Jacobs of today tell the Jake Jacobs that came into wrestling back when you started? What would you tell that cat with what you know now?
Wow. Ooh.
Did I get too deep for you, Jake?
Well, this is tough. This is tough because this is really hard on, I guess, which direction I want to go in.
Okay.
Because you could really go, I could be super positive or super negative. I really could. I guess I can give an answer on both sides. The first one, the negative one, is yeah, don't believe everything. I would say 98% of the time, everything in this business is a work. 98. So yeah, it's there is a lot. I'm probably gonna rub some people the wrong way, but there's a lot of fake people.
Hey, there's a lot of snakes in the grass in professional wrestling. I'll say it. That way you don't have to. I know
I'll stay on that same topic, and I'll just say find the good ones, and the good ones are really easy to find. They're actually super easy. The Bob Kellers, Cole Maccabees. I mean, the people, everybody over at 3 count. I mean, like, I'm sure I'm missing out, and I'm already, I'm probably gonna ruffle some feathers if I didn't mention some people, but like, realistically,
well, just like I've said on many shows, we know who the good ones are. We know who they are.
Reach around and grab them and hold, like, just hold on to those kind of people. Those are the ones that, I guess the number one thing, don't go anywhere because of money, and just because it's the place you've always looked up to going to, social media presence. I've noticed this is one big thing. Some place can look as the best in the world on social media. Their venues can look so nice and pretty. And there's two places I'm not going to name them. There's two places that absolutely on a social media I wanted to go to for so long. Been the two biggest disappointments, and that's the only two times in wrestling I've thought of quitting just because of how that experience was.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
I'm not going to name them, but there's two
I
places.
won't even question you about it. I understand, bro. I get it. But man, it's been a pleasure having you on, Jake, man, and catching up with us and telling us about your experience with Dr. Tom and just being a friend of the family, man. We enjoy you. I want to thank your girlfriend who allowed us to have time with you tonight. I know she's out there watching somewhere. She's somewhere in the house there watching. And
no chance. She's reading her book. Yeah, this is her alone time.
it's all good, but you can tell her I said thank you, man. I appreciate it because I'm taking time away from her right now, and we totally love you, man. And have a great time. I'm going to show it again, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to see Jake Jacobs, he's going to be at 3 Count Pro Aftershock live Saturday, August 26th at Calvary First Baptist, 11 Tampa Street, Greenville, South Carolina. Doors open 6, bell time 7. Tickets are $10 at the door. Or if you want to buy your tickets online or go to their store, it's 3countpro.com/store. Go check it out, man. A lot of great wrestlers on this card. You don't want to miss it. And you are a champion there, so you hopefully you'll be defending on the 28th, man.
I'm sure I will. Yeah, I'm sure I will. Come check.
Well, be sure to let us know what's going on, man. I'm going to leave it like this, man. He is the superior one, and you don't want to miss it because Jake Jacobs is on the prowl for your championship if he ain't got it already, and that is the #truth. We'll see you guys Wednesday night.
You're welcome.